Hey, this is Kirby, and Bryce and I decided to do a little video here in our design center at Distinguished Design's office, just to kind of give an overview of what to expect after you've gone to contract. Obviously, then we set a design meeting, so I thought a little overview might be nice so people aren't blindsided when they come in here and kind of know what to expect. So the good news is I think we have tried to, over the years, simplify this process the best we can. Of course, David Hazel, the builder, and his wife Melissa Hazel are the owners and partners of Distinguished Design. And the good news is when you come in for design, typically you're meeting with Melissa, very talented. She's a designer. So you've got help when you get in here to kind of work through the process of making your selections for your colors and your finishes. So just a real quick video to kind of give an overview. My plan is when we send this out to have some links available as well, that you could go ahead and do some prep work before you come in here. Just having a good general idea of what you're looking to do can always be helpful. So I hope this helps. Forgive me, this is not for entertainment, this is just informational. So I'll do the best I can with it and try to keep it short, sweet, and not too boring, but hopefully it's a good resource for you before you come into the design. So usually when we're setting a design meeting, typically she starts with the exterior of the home. So, and I've got this picture pulled up. This is our model home at Legacy. So, and of course, different neighborhoods, different communities, we have different standards for selections. Sometimes there's upgraded siding, colors, that type of thing. And typically I've had a chance to kind of dig in with most of that with you. But what I'm going through today is pretty much going to be true for most of the homes we're going to be building. So looking at the outside, the exterior of the home, kind of what we're typically looking at is, I always say, focus on your main siding color first, because everything else seems to flow off of that. Because once you've got that siding color picked, then you're getting into stone selection, roof, everything else just kind of flows off of that, if that makes sense. So, like on this home, the primary color obviously is this lighter blue. As part of the elevation design, we're also looking at, stone accents, which again, we have kind of a standard amount of square footage for those, but we can talk through adding more stone, looking at the style of the siding. So like this, for instance, is a board and batten. I think the sides of this home have more of a traditional lap siding. So looking here, I'll just start, with the gables. We can certainly do an accent color in the gables. We can use the shakes, which is what is showing here, or sometimes people mix in board and batten up in those areas as well. Main siding color, then get into the stone, and then typically after that, looking at shutters, roof color, which that's pretty easy. Typically there's two colors that all our vendors stock, so we try to stay with one of those colors. Your fascia and soffit, so like this is the fascia area and this is the soffit area up under there, picking a color for that. Most people are going with white, brown, or tan, are probably the most popular colors for something like that. Plenty to choose from there. And then we really get into some of the other particulars, looking at columns, front door choice. So bottom line, we kind of start on the exterior. I always recommend, especially if you're building in one of our communities, ride through the neighborhood. Even if it's not the same floor plan as the floor plan you're building, at least you've got kind of a good idea of what you like. So if you're riding through the neighborhood, just jot down an address. We can always pull up those colors if that's kind of what you want to base what you're going to do on. So that's kind of just a quick synopsis of the exterior. Again, I'm going to try to put some links to some of our suppliers and vendors when we send out this video. I just be real careful, like if I send you to my siding company, Plygym for instance, they got 15 different styles of siding. So I would try to stay within the links I send you will be specific to the materials we typically use. So I don't want to cause more confusion by sending that out. It helps if we kind of stay within, it helps the budget if we stay with the typical materials that we use. If you're using fiber cement, hardy board, or something like that, for instance, obviously, color-wise, we're going typically to a Sherwin-Williams color, and can assist with picking all that. So that kind of sums up the exterior. I'm going to kind of chat through the interior items right quick, and hopefully this helps. So once we finish with most of your exterior selections, then we go to the inside of the home. And I think what Melissa tries to do, kind of guiding you through this, and what I've seen mostly is most folks pick their primary cabinet color in the kitchen is probably one of the first things we look at, because everything seems to flow off of that. Flooring color, countertops, paint color, starting with kitchen cabinets just typically makes the most sense to kind of dig into those selections. So when it comes to cabinets, most of our homes we use the company that manufactures these is Marsh. They're out of North Carolina, one of the oldest privately held cabinet makers in the country, just FYI, for whatever that's worth. But obviously just looking at, again, starting with color, and then that'll flow through to, there are a few door style options. Several of those are upgrades, but we kind of go all through that with you. Typically, I've also had, by the time we get to the design, typically we've had a chance to talk through what you're really looking to do in the kitchen. But starting with color, we've got, there's probably 15 different colors. These are all standard in all of our neighborhoods. Where you're getting into upgrades would be the door style. Like this is a shaker type door style, more traditional. So we go through all of that. Also talking through other upgrades in the kitchen. Soft close drawers, which we do standard in some neighborhoods. Some neighborhoods that's an upgrade. Trash pullouts. Really we can take the kitchen design as far as you want to, but typically by the time you come in here, we've kind of laid out a budget, given you some options with some of the upgrades available. And then if you decide to add something or take something away during the design meeting, no problem. So obviously after cabinets, we're typically pulling out countertops pretty quick, granites and quartz. We'll try to give you a feel for the colors offered there, standard. And then if you really want to get custom on it, we can send you to our cabinet contractor. They have a showroom, and I do have some folks that elect to go there. Typically, I've got some allowances built in for upgrades, because if you're going there, you're typically going to spend more money. So you've probably heard me say, you stay in my room, I keep you on budget. That certainly goes for any cabinetry in the house, because I've had people spend an extra $5,000 on the slab for the island. So but good news is there's plenty of options with the standard selections. Obviously going through hardware, And then getting into plumbing fixtures for the house, kitchen, and baths. So that's kind of a good quick overview of, kind of where we start out on the interior of the house. And I think we're going to flip the camera around and go through some of our other items. So,
Go for it.
all right. So now we've kind of shifted our cameras and moved a little bit, but we're on the other side of the showroom. So here, getting into, I think I'd already mentioned countertops, a number of very nice quartz is a very popular countertop for the kitchen and in some instances bathrooms, that type of thing. There's 4 or 5 standard colors there, and then there's certainly upgrades available too. Granites, I think we've got about a dozen granite countertops that are standard, again, for kitchen and or bathrooms. Tile backsplash, there's thousands of options when it comes to backsplash, but we've tried to narrow down what we use the most. And again, if we're not seeing something here that meets the bill, we've got a vendor with a showroom that has a lot more selections. Again, pricing on that gets trickier because there's just so many categories of pricing for this stuff, but we work through all of that. So just kind of coming down the line here, looking at this section is getting into flooring. What you've seen in probably most of our homes you've viewed or that we've met in is a form of luxury vinyl tile, LVT, or we also use quite a few laminate products, so we kind of talk through what to expect there. One thing that we've really been trying to be careful about with the flooring selection too is, if wheelchair accessibility is a need or is important, well, let's make sure and talk through that, because some of these floors are just not rated for that, and some are. So we just want to make sure what we're doing is going to work best for you. And then obviously outside of the LVT and laminates, engineered hardwood, ceramic tile, all that is up for discussion. But this is certainly what I'm seeing done 90% of the time. People are just getting away from ceramic tile for the grout, etc., expense. So great product, and lot of different styles and color choices for the flooring. So, and then obviously even getting into carpets, we've got standard, and then there's certainly upgrade levels for that. So, so that's pretty much kitchen flooring. In the bathrooms, one obviously key thing is, typically people like to do a nice shower in the primary bedroom. Cultured marble is probably our absolute #1 seller. There's several styles available. It's a custom shower, no grout, it's low maintenance, so you can really design a very nice shower for the primary or other bathrooms as well, but most times I'm seeing this in the primary bathroom. So cultured marble is what we do the most, although we do have options for tile showers, so we can certainly kind of talk through that. But right now, I swear, I think it's about 9 out of 10 homes are going with the cultured marble. It's just a great material, and works out really nicely. So, so I certainly didn't hit everything, but I hope this kind of just gets your thoughts going a little bit about design. And certainly if you got questions before you come in to your design meeting, I'm more than happy to address those. But once you get in here, Melissa Hazel, who you'll meet, just does a fantastic job kind of guiding you through as you're picking all this out. So thank you very much.